Colin Kaepernick's collusion case against the NFL will go to trial. An arbitrator made the decision earlier this week. On Friday, I broke down what this means and more with Bill Reiter of CBS Sports HQ. So what do you think this means, the arbitrator's decision? What do you think it means for Colin Kaepernick's case?
I mean, it's very good news for Colin Kaepernick. It means the trial won't be a jury trial, but the trial moves forward. And it's terrible news for the National Football League. Talking to people around the league, you can imagine what they've said, Rena. It's the obvious. They just want this to go away. And this means that Kaepernick and whatever his attorneys have dug up has the potential to come to light, even though the deliberations will be private. There's a lot of implications for this going forward and where it could lead.
And this has a lot of implications across the board. I mean, for the entire ecosystem here. What do you think it means for the collective bargaining agreement? Is it in jeopardy?
It could be. I mean, if you look at the CBA itself, there's absolutely a clause that if it's found that there was collusion by the NFL, the CBA itself can be voided. Now, this deal is up in 2020, and anytime there's a new labor dispute between the National Football League and its players, there is the risk of a strike. There is the risk of a lockout. It's worth billions of dollars, and we've seen with some of the players holding out and the massive contracts. These guys, these NFL players, they want more money. They look at their NBA counterparts, and they see more money out there that should be their own. If there's an opportunity to avoid this thing, if that happens, the NFL could be in a perilous position financially, politically, and from a marketing perspective. It really is a nightmare just for the potential. It's potentially possible for Roger Goodell. I'm sure it's keeping him up at night.
It makes sense exactly why it would be keeping him up at night. I want to turn our attention for a second, though, to baseball. What do you think the races are? I can't believe September's here, Bill. Knocking at her door.
I know. It's amazing. It's actually, this is the best time of the year, right? Because college football's beginning. The NFL is just about to begin.
And kids are back to school.
Really counts now. Yeah, my kids go back to school next week. They can't wait. They're excited. There are so many great races. You've got the second best team in baseball in the American League East and the Yankees, who are not going to win that division because of how good Boston is. In the National League West, you've got a three-team race, and the two teams that don't make it between the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers, and the Rockies could be out. In the NL Central, the Cubs are the best team in the National League, but it looks like Milwaukee and the Cardinals could make that play-in game. All across baseball, it's not just approaching playoff time, but there's a lot going on to figure out who's actually going to be represented in October.
Bill, can you solve a marriage dispute for me? College football is starting, and my husband says don't cut off the cable right now.
I team your husband. Am I allowed to? I'm team football. No, it's true. Like this is like a negotiation in the Reiter household. Am I allowed to do 15 hours of consuming football
That's the problem.
Every Saturday and Sunday, or is it 8? So I think the strategy, Rena, is early on you give your husband all the football he wants, and then slowly try to peck away at it.
Well, you know, it could be worse. It could be a baseball fan, which are like 1,002 games.
It's true. It's a long baseball season.
I do want to ask you, though, about what big teams you're looking to kick off the season here for football.
You know what? It's just great to have football back. But this weekend, the game that really I think all of us fans are circling on our calendars is Michigan at Notre Dame. Neither of these teams are currently in the top 10, but both have different paths to the college football playoff. It doesn't necessarily rule you out if you lose week 1, but it's a huge win for either team. It's a 1-point game. Notre Dame is a 1-point favorite. It's going to be a great football game for two football teams with big expectations this year.
Finally, Bill, before you go, I want to put you on the spot. Who are your 4 preseason picks for college football playoff? Go.
I want to be bold, but I can't be because it feels like we have a dynasty and some rising dynasties. Alabama, to me, is a no-brainer. They have the best odds of any team to win the national championship in almost 15 years, going way back 15 years ago to USC. So I got Bama in there. I got to go Clemson and what Dabo Swinney has done. I mean, that's a rising dynasty. I know they're also an SEC school. Georgia's so talented. I think the SEC will get 2 teams in. I'm going to go – this isn't really bold because they're 4th in the coaches poll, but Wisconsin every year drops the ball in big games. They are on the easy side of the Big Ten. They've only got 2 difficult football games before the Big Ten championship. And since I have family from Wisconsin Arena, I'm going to say this year Wisconsin wins the big games when they're supposed to. All of Wisconsin is my final team in the college football playoff at the end of the year.
Bill, those are pretty obvious picks to me.
I know. They are. Who am I missing? Am I missing somebody?
Yes. You know who I would pick that would be brave and bold? Washington. Right. Washington.
I like
QB, I like Jake Washington. Browning coming back. Veteran, knows what he's doing.
I like Washington.
What do you think? 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 What
You know what? Done. You've sold me. You're out, Wisconsin. Washington's in. They're 15-1. West Coast love. Done. I'll ride that Washington train. Right. Sure.
I'm gonna keep harassing you about that one.
Sounds right. Sounds good.
Bill Reiter, host of Reiter Than You, Writer's Block. Thank you so much, Bill, for joining us.
You bet.
And don't forget, you can watch Bill's show, Writer's Block, Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports HQ. By the way, he's going to have former Dallas Cowboys tight end and ESPN Monday Night Football analyst Jason Witten on his show Thursday.